We here late on a Thursday night for no reason but to talk about a versus. But your host Amazing Spider Cam here, aka Mr. AKA. Follow the Blur Cartel on Facebook, IG, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, TikTok, Twitch. Please go check out What It Sound Like. I think they did a Sheryl Crow documentary. So best music podcast on the internet. Yeah, I'm hyping them up. So go check them out. Go check them out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Music. Go check them out on What It Sound Like page on Facebook. Of course, check it out on Facebook on YouTube also. Shout out to Comment 510. Shout out to Zell Nobel. Shout out to Hollywood Sensei. They're doing their work. But this is new. This is new stuff going on right now. This is Nerds of Combat. And I'm presenting to you Batman versus Black Panther and why you are wrong putting these two together in a versus. And it makes no sense. But, you know, it's enough about me. It's all about them. But I need everybody to introduce themselves. So going to my right, introduce yourself, sir.
Admin N Pass from Nerds of Combat. Pleasure to meet you. Nickname also the comic repository, so I'm the guy that gets the issues.
Admin Negro Lantern. Can you introduce yourself, sir?
Yeah, that was a great introduction. Nothing else needs to be said.
All right, he has the willpower of all the Negroes in poverty, so give him your food.
That's not what that means.
But
that's what we're gonna roll with.
What
it means today.
Black Logan, hide behind the curtain.
How y'all doing this evening?
Thank you. That was we would need a more of a better introduction this time, but
you said my name. It is what it is.
I'm sorry. I say you want to go out on a limb and go a little further than that. But, you know, we're here.
I'm a black man who loves comic books, and that's why I'm here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Why you are wrong for putting Black Panther against Batman. So
I feel like now the subject is why we're wrong for having these names.
I mean,
I just took it upon myself to be like,
you got a point. You gotta, as logical as the point.
Let's not get sidetracked so early in the conversation.
The Guardians of the Universe took him out of poverty and just like, we're gonna give you all the food stamps and the EBTs, and that's your willpower to just go there.
Oh my god.
You know how strong that would be. You know, I could be wrong. So if you can give me a couple of reasons why Prep Time will not save the Batman against Black Panther, and why people are wrong for putting them together in a versus.
I feel like we may have the scan already when Black Panther is talking to the Skrull during the invasion, and the Skrull told him that he basically was like prep time against him, and he's like, "Well, you know what? That's the great thing. I was prepped. I was taught to fight the unknown," and he beat the dog crap out of that Skrull immediately. So that would be just like one instance of intergalactic prep time not meaning anything.
Like
that's tough. That's tough. You're talking about when he tore the scroll that had like all the street characters in him.
Yep.
Yeah, like all the street tiers. He had let's see here.
He had Daredevil. Wolverine. Yeah. He had everybody in it. Wolverine included, I believe. Had everybody.
Luke Cage. He literally had Wolverine's claws, Danny Rand's Iron Fist. So you're looking at this like, bro, how would he even fight this guy with all this shit going on?
I think in that what ended up happening too, Black Panther didn't just fight and defeat him. It defeated him. Black Panther like ripped off his arm or something like that.
He embarrassed him.
Oh no, he did a couple of things. Like basically, this guy tried to throw one of the weapons from one of his soldiers. I think it was one of the
he ended up killing one of Black Panther soldiers, and that's when Black Panther
and threw his rib cage bones at him. And T'Challa's like, "Okay, you made him personal.
Enough.
Yeah, enough is enough." And then he's like, "Oh yeah, like apparently he even had Moon Knight, Shang-Chi, Captain America, Daredevil, and Elektra, and even
he had
his
their
fighting
accuracy.
styles." Yeah,
he had like Hawkeye's accuracy, and I think Moon Knight's like crescent throwing accuracy or something like that.
Yep, and he literally was sitting here trying his best, And then he's about to hit him with the Iron Fist, so he literally finds an invulnerability in his arm and snaps it backwards.
Yeah.
And then starts like systematically just attacking the guy, like going for the eyes, he took out an eye and then just started breaking him down.
He plucked out an eye, like
he plucked out an eye and they kicked his leg in, and it was just like, okay, yeah.
That's what prep time gets you.
Then he used the ebony blade, right? Like he takes his head off with the ebony blade.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Well, it was the dwarf.
That was with a different character, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it just manhandled him. Just
I thought he did it to him too, but you guys are thinking about when he did it to Sabretooth, I believe. But I thought he did it to the Skrull as well.
Oh no, not with the Skrull. The Skrull, he wanted to make a point to dismantle.
No, yeah, I remember him, dismantling him. But I thought the last thing he did was just take his head off.
Oh no, like he's like, nah, because the Skrull's even saying like, please kill me, give me an honorable death. He's like, after what you've done here today, you don't deserve an honorable death. You can lie there, and rot for all I care, or you can crawl back to your master and show them the truth. If this is the best they have to fight with, then their cause is already lost.
Which like after that they end up showing like I think it's after that, right? They end up showing like the two other hybrids, the ones that had like Juggernaut and Thor in them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They did all that just to take out Wakanda.
That's when he breaks out the ebony blade.
Exactly.
When he starts fighting
this Skrull in particular had skills of characters that have fought or given a lot of issues to a lot of other people in the Marvel landscape.
I know some people who are watching this, they're like, yo, the dead giveaway is that I think they decided on Black Panther.
Let's be fair though. Let's be fair. These Skrulls can copy their powers, but they're not like the absolute in these powers.
Oh no!
So
it takes years of training. Too.
Yeah, they're highly skilled. There's a lot going on, but let us just make sure that like people understand that we're not saying that this is like a complete exact copy.
No, because you could just read Secret Invasion, and it's like that was the whole thing in Secret Invasion.
I know, but
I'm just adding to what you're saying. Like I agree. If you read
like we being biased.
No, exactly. Yeah, I agree. If you read Secret Invasion, that was the context there.
They're only gonna go for this guy because of it. Like, no. Extensively read Batman much longer.
I mean, if we want to go back even further, when Wolverine had was infiltrated, when the X-Men were infiltrated by the Wolverine Skrull, and didn't realize that Wolverine there was a Skrull, and that Wolverine was actually captured by Apocalypse and was death at this point in time. They like that blatantly shows that those healing factor abilities weren't anything in comparison to the original. So it's already been established.
Yeah, I mean, it showed with the Deadpool run of Secret Invasion. His healing factor killed all the Skrulls because he couldn't handle it.
Everybody forgets about that issue.
I just want to go way back in the day so people remember, like, this is a while ago, folks. This is a while ago.
For me, you don't even have to go all the way back to Skrulls.
In terms of defending tactic, Gotham gets run over so many times by these villains, and Batman can't handle it. But Wakanda only took one L. It'd be with the recent L was like 5 years ago with Namor sinking it because he had Phoenix.
No. We're forgetting when Thanos rolled through.
So I was just going to say that's when Thanos rolled through. Even then, I was just going to say. So you got to remember that Wakanda is the unconquered realm. So a lot of things have happened in Wakanda, but Wakanda has never been conquered. Like that's the entire theme of Wakanda.
Hell, I mean, most recently you can do with the whole King in Black situation. Like, Ronaldo took over the planet. In a day. And the one place that ended up being safe and homeland to everything was Wakanda.
And then we got the reveal of the anti deterrent
Phoenix measure
for the Phoenix Force. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Let's shout out the good writing during that run when he's defeating Null and he's reliving the story reliving a time when his father is telling him the story about Boston and Nancy, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like, yo, you have
I'm so
you
glad
have
I got my first printing of that.
You have to think. You have to think. You know, like because like above all, T'Challa is a thinker. He's a brilliant mind.
Exactly.
Which totally goes in to everything he's able to do when it comes back to the combat prowess that we will speak on later on.
I mean, he came up with a strategy on the fly to repel all of Null's forces out of Wakanda
while they
were taking over everything.
While his sister was lost and his beloved Storm was lost at the same time.
I'm just sitting here thinking, like, that's my favorite part of that whole story. Like, was not even the stuff that happened in Wakanda, just the part where he was thinking about Storm getting caught, and he was like, "No, focus, no focus, no focus."
And he's like telling himself to focus, and you just see Storm's face there, and he's just not having. He's like,
"I'll get her back. I'll get her back if I do what I need to do. Everything will be fine."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was like, "No," he was like, "Oh, my baby." My baby, my people,
my baby.
My people, my baby.
I know I'm Black Logan, but I'm sorry, Wolverine, that ain't yours.
I mean, at one point,
I know.
At one point.
Hey. Everyone's weak. Everyone be weak sometimes.
Somebody's marriage got annulled because he smelt somebody on another person. But you know, I don't even know why I said that. But
one of the biggest issues I've always had was that you know, the other people who have these outside stories that have nothing to do with actual, like, Black Panther always do their best to ruin Black Panther. But I mean, even recently, old boy who wrote
let's not talk about Ridley.
You know, Black Panther did even worse, but that's going deeper into Black Panther than it is the subject. So the subject is, forgive me. So the subject about, you know, why people are wrong about Black Panther and Bruce. I just want to, you know, bring us back around. Yeah. We can start at like more simpler things than we've been talking about, which is just them as men, like as two different men. The approach to the way that they do things is vastly different. And you guys already kind of spoke on that when you were talking about just the brilliance of T'Challa. Now I want to kind of sway away from T'Challa and speak on what Spider-Cam spoke on, which was that the fact that, like, the villains of Gotham continuously keep that crime wave going in Gotham. You know, and that's not something, you know, obviously T'Challa has ever had to deal with in Wakanda. Yeah. It's not that they have crime waves in Wakanda, it's that there's a lot of political discourse in Wakanda.
In other words, everybody and their mom trying to take over and mess up the country.
Right. And then another thing.
Or the out.
Exactly. And the other thing that people forget is that it's not Wakanda, the city, it's Wakanda and the tribes and the neighboring
the entire country.
Cities next to Wakanda, because that was like Killmonger whole thing. It was like Killmonger was like, oh well, my place is flourishing where I'm from, you know, so on and so forth. We have better, you know, technology than you guys, and it was just like this kind of, like, you know, ego thing. As where with Batman, it's not even anywhere near that. You know, it's just simply Bruce. And I'm a huge Batman fan, you know, and so, like, the thing that I understand is that it's just that Bruce's whole situation is that somebody always has to come out to him and say, "You're not doing enough." That's literally every time you were ever introduced to like modern takes on the villains, or I mean, because classic Batman stuff is a lot more goofy. Different. Yeah, and a lot of casuals don't. You know, they don't know that. They just think everything's Tim Burton.
Oh no, well that's because they don't know about the early days where
right. They don't know that the Adam West, like, show is probably the most accurate Batman we ever had.
Like, literally the most accurate. Like, that would blow their minds if they ever went back in the day.
For better or worse. For better or worse.
But yeah, so
at that point in time, because that's one of the reasons that Frank Miller's thing was such a big deal, because it really shifted it into that darkness that we all remember right now. Even before.
See, and I want to talk about that too, because like, well, I just want to step in right there, because I need to learn on a personal level those two writers who was doing that before Frank Miller, because Frank Miller always gets that credit, but it's not him. He wasn't the guy who did that.
Frank Miller took it to the hyper.
It wasn't completely
darkness.
him. I'm trying to think if it was who took over and did a darker tone.
Well,
I would say.
Well, we don't have to get stuck there. But it was two writers specifically that were taking Batman in a very more realistic direction before Frank Miller ever did. What was that, Year One or whatever it's called?
I did want to ask you on your part. You said a lot of people come in and tell Batman he's not doing enough. So going through the list of multiple people: Red Hood, Ra's al Ghul, Bane, Ghostmaker, even the Court Owl to a certain degree, Nightwing, just like
and those are just the most recent year guys,
and
it's like Batman's not doing. Even Batman saying Batman's not doing enough because that's why he made failsafe. So to think he's not doing enough for the city alone.
That's why he made backup plans for in case he dies anyway. He knows he's not doing enough. That's the crazy thing about it. He realizes it at some point. It just still doesn't solve the issue.
And there you go. And then you got T'Challa, just like, I got 5 star systems to myself. I got a whole country to myself. I got an Avengers team. I got multiple Avengers teams to myself.
I used Thor as a weapon. That's one of the greatest things I like about
Agents of Wakanda.
The Agents of Wakanda run. It's like in Black Panther went out of his way to make it clear in this issue when talking to Okoye, I believe, when he was talking to her, and he's telling her, he's like, yo, while you're worried about these people are weapons. They're Wakandan weapons. And then he shows us, I can call Thor anytime I want to. He's gonna do what I want him to do. He's my weapon. He's not just an ally because I associate with the Avengers. He's my weapon. And he says this and shows us in the same issue. I don't know. That's one of not my favorite feat from that issue, because obviously the other thing that we'll talk about later,
resisting reality warping thing from the whole.
Never mind. We just talked about it just then.
Burn century situation.
But no. Like I said, I want to really shift the focus to Bruce, because it's so easy to talk about why T'Challa is like great, but with them as men, another thing too is that T'Challa has a lot of resources for sure, but he doesn't have necessarily sidekicks. So you could be like, well, T'Challa has the white wolves. I forget how to say the African term for them, but you'll be like, oh, T'Challa.
Yeah.
Well, no, the Wakanda name, because they have a Wakanda name, and so no, we don't have to get stuck there. We don't have to get stuck there. But you could be like he has the wolves. You could talk about he has the Midnight Angels, and then of course the Dora Milaje, so on and so forth. And it's like, yo, these are things that T'Challa does not rely on, as where Bruce is consistently relying on children. And I do mean this, children, to come in and aid him, and that's not even counting like the Justice League stuff, just Gotham-based things.
It gets bad because it's just like what Bruce lacks in. It's just like Tim will be the rational person, Barbara is the tech person, Nightwing is just like, yo, you're doing this wrong. I'm just like, he's a constant reminder, just like, yo, you're doing this wrong, and not. To the point where you're doing this wrong and I would do it this way. He's like, yo, don't be Bruce. You could think logically about this. And then Jason's just like, I'm trying to be better. And he's just like,
but yeah, Bruce, you need to kill these.
you might have off you when it's 3 Jokers running around. Yo, off one of these niggas. Like, what the fuck? Nobody knows.
Oh, we can talk about that.
Never forget Bruce beat the crap out of Red Hood. He beat Red Hood for getting out of line.
When he shot
Penguin.
He broke that nigga down in 5 hits. I feel like I was like, I don't think Jason wasn't hit that hard with the crowbar.
You just said there like, damn, Bruce, you really got to do him like that. I know he's the black sheep, but
he hit
his son, my
Bruce
nigga. Like,
hit that nigga. Bruce hit that nigga and broke his mask in his armor so hard because he's like, "This is all the pain you caused me over the decades for dying."
That's you all that. There just like, damn, Bruce.
You know what he really did? He really beat him for bringing up him never hitting the Joker the same way. Because you know that's what Hood tells him. He's like, you never hit the Joker.
Like this. You never hit this hard before.
And you sit there just like, Bruce, why you letting your son get the better of you like this? You supposed to be better than this, man.
No, yeah, it was very easy to think like you deserve that death. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Before I bring up technology, fighting styles. Now we always
again, them as men. I love it.
We always hear Batman. He knows 125 more than martial arts, and
127. They love to say that 127.
Yeah, they love to say 100.
He knows 127. Never mastered one.
127. Deathstroke cooks him. Lady Shiva cooks him.
He had to make sure Lady Shiva got hit.
Bronze Tiger cooked him.
Bronze Tiger.
Gold did when they first started.
I don't know. Listen, this hurts me, and I'm the Batman fan.
I'm not jacking it too much, but how many people can cook Black Panther hand in hand in Marvel?
Well, let me answer this. Because again, as the Batman fan, like only casual people think Batman is a great combatant, right? But in the comics, Batman has never been the greatest combatant. Never. You can go high, low, search far and wide. When you read Batman comics, one thing is very consistent, and it's this particular subject. Batman is never the best combatant. Everyone else who is a comparable combatant in the DC landscape, meaning named characters mostly, Bronze Tiger, Deathstroke, Lady Shiva, Talia Al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul. Go on and on. Bruce is never their flat out better. Never. And in most cases, Bruce is always taking an L without the other circumstances that randomly present themselves at any time. I want to remind people without having to go into like biases.
When you're done with this, let me say something real quick.
Right. So I'll say this last thing and I'll let Logan take over. Without any biases, I want you to remember at all times, Joker beats up on Batman. And the excuse can't always just be, oh, well, that's what happens in comics, because it doesn't happen with other characters. Joker
doesn't have any mastered styles.
To me, in this conversation, I'm going to bring up Joker War a lot, which is a story that's literally meant to show the fans, like, Bruce isn't what the casuals make him out to be. And Joker beats the crap out of Batman. And that's why Harley Quinn shoots Joker in the face.
Like, you got Endgame. One of the biggest examples I always give, like, literally, Bruce is up against the wall against the Joker. The Joker's gotten to the point where he even got the Justice League. And Bruce couldn't even stop them, had to almost died in the process. Got lucky because of the whole kryptonite gum situation. And the only thing was, he had to literally use the Bat family as bait to get Joker away so he could try to stop the Dionysium from, whatever bombs or whatever stuff he had planned to launch out. And Joker caught him and was hurting him with playing cards.
Was fucking him up, you mean?
Like,
yeah,
like I don't get it.
Now, see, like, this is what I want to talk on. This is what I want to talk on, because we see something like that blatantly obvious. I can, like, there was a Victor Zsasz skin I should have thrown up in here, where Zsasz was stabbing the fuck out of Bruce. And it's just
there's a lot of scans with Bruce.
Yeah, for whatever reason, he's like all this prep, but this knife durability ain't shit. But that's neither here nor there. But nigga has a hard time with like getting stabbed by crazy people. if you're such a great martial artist, is kind of wild to me. But I will also say this is why there is so much confusion in the landscape, because you will have something like that happen. And then we saw when Superman linked up with Midnighter and Apollo and all them folks, and Midnighter is supposed to be like a savage. He's supposed to be a monster, right, guys? He's supposed to be a monster. Those ninjas were about to kill that motherfucker. Guess who comes out the portal like, I'm going to save you, son, like Jesus Christ? Batman, telling Lucas, don't fuck with me. I know about that stupid chip in your head. It won't work out well for you. Well, he dismantles, just because Bruce Wayne don't be killing, quote unquote. So he dismantles these things that were going to take out Midnighter. Well, Midnighter, with all these extra attributes, is like, oh God, not this way. And then Bruce comes in, gives him a soliloquy about how you shouldn't do this with me or my family. And it's just like, hold on, is it Joker stabbing him, or can he beat Midnighter? Like, what are we doing here? It's just one of those things. And this is the problem. This is the problem that I have with DC as a whole, because I feel like they don't understand or know what they want to do with a lot of their characters. At some point, they'll be like, yo, we're gonna full force with this. And then they're like, hold on, let's change it up. And it's like, can you just pull up your big boy pants and do something so we all can agree this is what it is?
Even on the lowest denominator of where you want to go to with Black Panther fighting opponent one-on-one, you go to Daredevil, and back in the day, and Daredevil will work most of the people Batman has fought. Just like,
well,
and that's
they don't want to
so
hear
spot
that.
on. And people forget that Frank Miller worked on both these characters.
Exactly.
So, and then people that walked up to Wakanda, just Captain America walked up to Wakanda.
Captain got
everybody forgets Wakanda used to have.
Wolverine walked up to Wakanda. I'll put you down.
Everybody forgets in Wakanda, one of their deterrents was putting niggas' heads on spikes.
Hold on. Homeboy brought up Wolverine.
Let's not forget though. Hold up. Let's not forget that when that happened with Cap, that wasn't T'Challa. That was T'Chaka.
That's what I'm.
I know.
No. Was that T'Chaka?
No. That wasn't even T'Chaka. That was his That was the dad. That was T'Chaka's dad. T'Chaka dad.
That was his grandfather.
Yeah.
That was way before this suit got even close to where it's at right now. When we let's not even talk about that yet, because that's disrespectful.
Yeah, because that's that feat I always talk to y'all about when T'Challa's training and his stepmom is like, your grandfather used to do the same thing. Used to pull his punches with Captain America.
Yep.
It's because y'all respect him. It isn't because he's y'all equal.
Yep. Yeah. that was during the Deadpool, the Black Panther versus Deadpool run. I'm pretty sure.
No, it was the canon Deadpool and Black Panther run.
Yeah, that storyline, because they're like, he's going through all the scenarios and he's like, I could just do this to Hulk, I could just do this. And it's like, oh man,
the way he defeated Hulk that's embarrassing. The way he showed that he could defeat the Hulk was crazy.
Nah, but them Bastians are gonna be on here cussing us out, hating on us, because we're just talking about the shit that DC's giving us to go with. They're gonna be like, oh, so you're gonna talk about that, but you're gonna ignore when he kicked him in the solar plexus. The solar plexus is gonna be like, if you don't get out.
No, you know what most people bring up, like super casual energy. Most people will bring up
Marvel versus DC.
No, they'll bring up Batman with what was it, Richard Dragon or Karate Kid? That's what they'll bring up.
No, it's always a Karate Kid one.
Yeah,
it's always a Karate Kid one, and it's like, You're gonna take what is it, the golden era when Karate Kid spinning Superman around, and it's like, no, he just be waxing all these people all the time, and it's like, really, peculiar. Haven't seen that since, but okay, go on.
But if you want to use Batman kicking Hulk in the solar plexus, I mean, we seen with Wonder Woman talking to, whatever Wonder Woman that was, and it's like all the stories are canon. So I mean, if we're going off that.
No. DC saying that all the stories are canon are very different from Marvel saying that these stories that we did because we wanted to make money when everything was dying out is very different. Because one group said, yeah, this is all canon because it works for them. The other group's like, hey, hold on. Nah, bro, nah.
Well, no. I'll do you one better. So, because it happened at the same time. Remember, these things happened at the same time. So one group said, "Hey, everything that we do when we do crossovers, it's all connected." Okay, and the other group was like, "Since you feel that way, how about we show you that one of your major events that will destroy your universe is actually a blip in the eye of Thor."
Of Marvel. Yeah, exactly. The Black Winter. Black Winter didn't mean nothing at the end of the day.
Thor was like, really, "Oh, I just watched the DC universe die." Oh, okay.
Not to mention, they can't even decide what they want to keep expanding their universe, either bigger or making it smaller. Because you literally have Crisis on Infinite Earths, shrinking down everything just to the main thing, worried about that. Then you have, I believe it's either 0 Hour or Infinite Crisis that come later on, brings back the multiverse, brings back the timelines and stuff, and expands it again. And then you have Final Crisis, and then all the stuff that happens with Convergence and everything later on, mainstreaming and making the multiverses organized and everything. And then Multiversity, which gives you a grander scale of everything and still keeps the stuff.
A great way to get new readers to read your shit. Great way.
Exactly.
Great
and
way.
Then you got Dark Knights. And then you got Dark Knight's Metal, which is like literally like, oh, there's a multiverse the same as this one, but evil.
In reverse. It's the negative here.
It's not like we got Earth 3 with all the Justice League literally evil counterparts and everything chilling. We're gonna make an entire evil multiverse of nightmares, and then
all made in the Justice League's image for some whatever
for some reason. No other version.
I don't want to touch that. I don't want to touch them on.
Yeah, because it's like, why would it not be Darkseid's image? Nope. It's all built around Bruce. It didn't. Nope. It's all built around Barbados, who was like a Shazamish, which was a dead giveaway.
Barbatos just ended up being the freaking, what was it? The Guardian of the Forge for the World Forger.
Well, he was also like a Shazamish parody.
Yeah,
because you have to remember where Shazam was in the landscape for the longest.
Oh,
and everybody was like, "Okay, where's the Shazam version?" Oh, there he is at the end of the story.
Oh no!
But we're getting way too sidetracked. We're getting way too sidetracked.
Yeah, we're getting way too sidetracked. Okay.
So on the subject of the combat, like it's just not close, and I think we all agree, most of us here, it's just because the Joker is just a definitive giveaway that Batman is just not the combatant casual people make him out to be. And for whoever doesn't understand that, casual people are people who just didn't read Batman comics, because when you read a Batman comic, Batman's never the greatest combatant in the depiction. Never. I mean, we could defeat that whole argument because Spider-Cam brought it up. We could defeat that whole argument with just the modern day material, which is like Court of Owls. Defeat that whole argument. What was the old boy name? Leakin, the biggest one? Wasn't that his name?
Yep.
Yo, oh my God. Give it Bruce the problems, yo. And that's not even counting what Raptor said.
Didn't he have to turn on the AC?
Nightwing.
Yeah. When Raptor said to Nightwing in his solo series and everything with Peter, no, that was the whole thing. But yeah, what he said to him, like, you ain't been properly trained.
Right, exactly.
Like you think you have, but
it was like, whoa, all this dude has is a gauntlet. And he just talked to me like that for real. Yo, he was serious.
Yeah, and gave him the business. That's the worst part. Oh,
and then Nightwing followed him around. He was like, well, this is the person I'm gonna learn from this dude.
We did sidekicks origins pretty much. We did hometowns, fighting capabilities. Might as well go to tech, because that's where Batman can stand a chance, right?
No.
I want to say this last thing, because I don't want us to skip over this. It's very important, because again, you brought this to light yourself when you talked about just the modern day stuff, right? So the last thing I'm gonna say on like just where they're from, there's a parody that happened in Marvel during the Phoenix tournament, right? And it was like, oh, who's the best wielder of the Phoenix Force? Well, consistently we saw it was Black Panther. But this is what's important. Marvel's literal carbon copy character who's meant to be the Batman in Marvel, Nighthawk. Him, y'all already know. Him and Black Panther have a matchup. And the whole matchup is literally the writer going out of the way to explain to the fans, like, hey, this is the definitive difference between Black Panther and Batman. And if you don't think that's what happened there, you're ridiculous, because Nighthawk's outfit was basically Rebirth Batman's outfit. Like, because Rebirth Batman has the yellow trim, right? And Nighthawk's went all the way out with like the yellow chest piece.
Yeah, so the yellow and the purple.
And so they say things to each other. The two characters say things to each other where every time Nighthawk tries to say, hey man, I got all this detective work, I got all this technology back in my base, I got all this insight, all my combat skill, and every time he says something, T'Challa was like, our children do that. And Wakanda, our kids do that. Oh, you can hack the government? Okay. Our children can hack nations. What are you talking about? Like, we've been there, done that. Everything that you think makes you special puts you behind the Wakandan curve for 12-year-olds. And that was a very epic moment. So that's the last thing I want to say about them when it comes to like the difference between just where they come from, city versus capital.
So on the mode of tech, so you got the Hellbat armor, you got the Justice Buster, you got the, even if you want to include the Mobius chair, you got all the contingency plans for the Justice League.
This subject hurts me.
Hold on.
Only got vibranium, right?
I'm sorry. Say that one more time. Spider Cam.
I was saying contingency plans for the Justice League, the Justice Buster, the Hellbat armor.
All the things that didn't work. You're talking about.
I'm just saying what he had. I didn't say.
I knew he was being facetious.
I'm making sure I understood what you're talking about.
He's just
all the shit that didn't work, like Tony Stark's armor.
Hey, hold on.
Don't work.
The Hellbat armor got Damian back. That's all that mattered.
Nigga, it was killing him. Fuck out of here.
That's not what got Damian back. Hold up. No, that's not what got Damian back.
A lot of people
don't say that.
You want me to get this one?
Yeah, because that's not what got Damian back.
One of the biggest misconceptions that pisses me off with fans when they try to use the Hellbat like it stood a chance against Darkseid. The only reason Batman survived and made it out of there was because of the Chaos Shard, literally absorbing the Omega beams and the Omega effect that Darkseid was going to hit him with. I get that was the point and what he was trying to do, but at the end of the day, if he didn't have that, the suit was screwed. Darkseid stepped on this man and was about to break him like literal twig. The best attack he had at the time without the shard only knocked Darkseid back. He got back up and he was like, man, I'm done with this shit. And then it was about to kill him.
Yo, but even then, the thing that I want to say is that like
the energy and it ended up burning out by the time he got back.
The thing I want to say is that like because I feel like you skipped over this part. Darkseid, the only reason Batman got, or Bruce, I'm sorry, because I want to talk about him as a father. Right? The only reason Bruce got back Damian was because Darkseid was like, this is annoying for no reason.
Yes.
Yeah, he was just like, no.
He was like, just go. He was like, you brought all these kids with you. He's like, just go. Just go. And then like even when he left, Darkseid was like, what? When he left, he was like, yeah, you're gonna pay for this. Wasting my time.
And then you got Justice Buster. Prime example. It was prepared for a lot of the league. It managed to deter Wonder Woman. It managed to get Aquaman. It even managed to slip up Flash. But where did the buck stop at?
That man is still.
Mind you, the nigga, he has been fighting for decades. Has every weakness on. Even had a weakness for him. And what did the suit do? It still couldn't stop him.
Wait a minute. I can hear Future Rage right now. I can hear Future Rage. So let me jump in right here so we can go back to talking about Bruce's shortcomings. Let me jump in right here. So that impudent rage I could hear is somebody being like, well, Black Panther Buster didn't work against Amadeus Cho, or somebody who's a casual probably just thought all the Hulks were the same.
You mean
let me clear that up. Let me clear that up for you some of my casuals. So when this situation happened, keep in mind, Black Panther's Buster had advantages over Iron Man's Buster, which was that it repaired itself. And what happened was because Amadeus had this anomalous thing that would happen with him when he was a Hulk, when he was incredibly emotional, because he was emotional, his power would increase. So it wasn't that when he got angrier, he did what Bruce would do, in the past. It was that his unstable emotional state, which really had more to do with sadness, was getting off the charts. And so the suit still repaired itself. But here's the thing. While you're bringing that up, the actual Immortal Hulk, the one that went to go fight on with Thor,
we're gonna talk
thought
about that
that the
right
everyday thought that the everyday, no, didn't think, he felt, and he said it verbatim, that the everyday Black Panther with no Buster was the biggest threat he faced. And we saw it happen right on page, where Black Panther was explaining that, hey, when we hit you with, what was that, Soul's Hammer?
Kamayo beats, let's go.
When we hit you with Soul's Hammer, which was a totally different event for you casuals, that was me showing you mercy as a friend. Right now, you're upsetting me. I'm not showing you mercy. Takes the Hulk's arm off. Mind you, there's no Buster involved when this happened. This was everyday T'Challa. This was everyday T'Challa, who, that same T'Challa that was ready to kill Ant-Man if he didn't become a hero.
Or drop Namor off on an abandoned planet, just like, fuck you.
No. He wasn't ready to kill Namor. He killed. He killed Namor on that planet.
To be fair.
I love the part. It's like, you thought I let that go, didn't you? Huh?
Oh my god. Yo, what's even better is when he just popped in on him, because he let Namor do his thing, and then he was like, teleport. Oh, my bad, bro. Teleport.
What Black Bolt, when Black Bolt was there, he's like, yo, Black Bolt, talk to him real quick.
Yo, they were like, yo, where's Namor? He's like, yeah, he
ain't coming.
He's like,
coming back.
But no. So like, yeah, I just wanted to because I could hear the rage. I could hear the rage coming at that part.
Not just that. Another thing people overlook.
We do to the casuals. We do this for the casuals.
Please get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Okay, what the hell
was that right
there? That was good. That was good.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
And the only
I don't want peace. I want problems. Always.
Yep. The only thing I wanted to add that they overlooked with that Hulk Buster, and in that situation, T'Challa even says and warns Amadeus to chill, or I will send you to the negative zone. Like, at any point in time, he's got an option to send somebody to an entirely different dimension.
I mean, you're talking about the world, one of the world's greatest geniuses, who's casually friends with one of the world's greatest geniuses, exactly. which I mean, Blue Marvel, who's base just casually has a bunch of different dimensions sitting in it. Like, come on, man.
Let me say this. Okay, we're all men here. We all could agree that Storm is just chocolate of the sexual nature that we can describe.
Where are we going here?
Well, listen. He was reading advanced physics on the honeymoon when she was dipping in the ocean, because Namor had that on lock before they went and dealt with Dr. Doom. Like, he was like, that's what he's doing on his honeymoon. He's reading advanced physics for fun.
Oh my God, are you trying to say this is what makes him a strong man?
No. I'm just saying, let's just keep it 100. Let's just keep it 100. That's what that man's doing. Everyone else would have folded.
If we look at Bruce's track record with women,
Bruce
Wayne is weak yams, and we know this.
I'm weak yams. We all are.
I say specific yams. Specific yams, like any man would be. Any man, y'all ain't gonna just do my boy Bruce like that. Okay,
no, we're not gonna do Bruce like that.
That's why
I really don't want.
There's my boy Bruce be out here in his speedo.
There's a handful in particular he is especially weak to.
Wonder Woman, weak to yams.
Wonder Woman, Catwoman,
I'm still weak to Linda Carter. I'm still weak to Linda
Carter. Just got over Talia.
Yo, when Wonder Woman had Bruce under the hill in that puddle, when Bruce was trying to get old girl.
Most recently in Batman versus Robin, he knew a bitch wasn't Talia. He's like, "That's how Talia's scent. You don't smell like her." I'm like, "Nigga,"
and he's down bad.
Been around her. You haven't been around her for.
I thought there was a black comic book where he don't eat the. So where are we at?
Oh, man. You ain't gotta do this. You ain't gotta do this.
Canon.
They joked about that in that Harley Quinn show too, I believe.
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
T'Challa out here like I'm eating on the nectar of Africa.
Hell, he was
and
about
Bruce
to eat
over
on
here, and Bruce over here like,
Hey, this ain't that hour. We don't talk about those things. This not what this is about.
We'll save that for another time. We're talking about technology and everything. And as far as
he got some weird tech going on right now.
Yeah, as far as tech goes, when it comes to T'Challa, just vibranium alone with its versatility and everything is insane.
Yeah, I want to say this on this particular subject. No, I mean, oh my God, the vibranium, adamantium, I always say the name wrong. I don't want to upset Jared. So like,
carbonadium.
So like on this subject, like it's not even remotely close. I know somebody's gonna be like, "Well, Batman has access to 10th metal." Shut up.
Yeah,
and actually on that subject, let's broach that subject. So 10th metal is only special in the DC landscape, and there's a reason for that. If you actually knew anything about the 10th metal, it has a particular specialty because people who have a particular signature, which exists in the DC landscape, it affects them. It affects people who have that signature in them. And it's people who are from the DC landscape. That the description that you are given when Wonder Woman, Batman, I believe, and maybe
Wonder
Superman,
Woman, Batman, Superman, Aquaman,
okay, it was
Flash at the time.
When they all threw on that armor, it was like, yo, there's a clear description here that tells you why this is special and why it can do what it does. So there's no reason to bring that up. It's not. The difference here is that everyday vibranium is going to do the same job no matter where it goes. And that's not even the best thing in Black Panther's arsenal. And we're talking about just basic Black Panther, what he's rocking. We have to go out of our way to talk about Bruce's specialties. Basic Black Panther walking around with Buster armor. At any point in time, his basic armor could just turn into a Buster. At any point in time, it could turn into like some low-level version of a Buster, which we saw when the invasion happened.
Yep.
Oh
wow, Batman can even.
Black Panther did it too. What are we?
There goes the casuals. There goes the casuals.
What God? No.
No. I think he's saying in general that with prep time, Batman can do. He can be the god. So let's clear that up.
Yeah.
With prep time.
Thanks for the joke.
No, where is mine? Where is mine? Yo, this is my moment. I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Yes, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
You understand me? You understand me? You understand me? Yo, let's talk about this. So,
yeah,
the situation where you guys love to say, or I don't know, maybe you're being facetious. Let me back down off you. when people say Batman with prep time gets every job done, why have we never seen that actually happen in the comics? Why have we never seen that actually happen in the movies? Why have we never seen that actually happen in the animated series?
You want the answer?
I bet your answer is because it's not true.
Exactly. I'm not
saying
it's not butter.
You could go latest as failsafe hoeing them.
Exactly.
Failsafe a monster right now for the Justice League.
Here's the thing.
I'll give you KG Beast.
Don't take that from me. Don't take that. Anyway, but we're gonna save that for the bloodlusty subject. You know what I'm saying? Yep. That's what they love to say when they say bloodlust. So here we go. When you guys say this, I'm gonna take another one from Spider-Cam. Why is it that recently Batman couldn't even jump off of a roof properly, and you want to argue he has prep time skills? Or did y'all miss that part where Ghostmaker was like, "Hey, if I wouldn't have been here, you'd have injured yourself and ruined your life."
And he's sitting here like, "Nah, I knew you would help me." Like, so you knew.
Or maybe you feel like that's not enough evidence, even though it recently happened in the comics. Okay, then again, I propose to you: if that was the case, why don't we see it in Batman medians? We don't see it in the comics. We don't see it in the animated series. We don't see it in the movies. Consistently, what you see is that Batman is out doing something because he's a detective. A lot of y'all forget that. You try to make Batman this Iron Man-ish, Black Panther-ish character that he's not.
Ooh, tell him again. Tell him again.
You try to make Black Panther and Iron Man. No. You try to make Black Panther and Iron Man low-level characters like Batman. See, I'm gonna go back to what Spider-Cam pointed out. Look at all those armors that y'all love to bring up. Love to bring up those armors. First off, that the Justice League helped build. Like, you love to bring those up, but you forget that's Batman going from his little level to a level where he can compete, as where people like Iron Man basically walk around like that. And somehow y'all think it's a good discussion to say Batman versus Iron Man. Iron Man's below Black Panther, because Black Panther literally thinks Iron Man suits are laundry. You don't have to take my word for it. That's in the comics.
Want to talk about Christopher Priest around?
Use them as servants, because he was like, if he didn't want me to hack him, he wouldn't leave his laundry laying around.
Also, I never knew a nigga that had to change personalities to be more deadlier to go over his own self. What? Oh, you mean to tell me you made failsafe to do what you couldn't do? Then you gotta change personalities to do what you couldn't do, and then you can't do what you couldn't do because the thing you invented to do what you couldn't do beat what you couldn't do, and then you just assless on the fucking staircase bleeding out.
I'll do you one better.
No, I'll do him one better. I'll do him one better. Azrael, the armor that he gave to Azrael, the armor that I feel like people don't notice. Again, going from Spider-Cam playbook, we'll just talk about recent stuff. In that situation, what was it? Odyssey, right before Odyssey, the suit that Azrael dons, which was Bruce's suit, was supposed to be a suit that helped you do the thing that it was supposed to help you do the capabilities that you don't normally bring out of yourself, but keep you from going too far. That was the whole thing, and it still got messed up. That suit got messed up really bad.
I could do you one better. Since he was speaking on the whole personality shifting and stuff, Batman Who Laughs, Bruce had to literally deal with being infected with a Joker toxin by Joker because he knew that was the only way he could defeat the Bat Who Laughs or even stand a chance against him. And even then, you'll notice he couldn't beat him on his own. He needed Jim Gordon, his son, Joker, and Alfred.
I want to broach this because you beat me to it. So now that we're here, now that we're at the Batman Who Laughs, and we're talking about the subject of prep time, right? Because that's where we got shifted to. The reason this is a terrible argument, just using the Batman Who Laughs, is because the Batman Who Laughs was trash at prep time. He only succeeded in his goals because people were practical. So much so, this isn't that he already knew how they were going to behave, so he had prepared for it. No, he knew how people were going to behave, and he just simply knew they would go with their worst instinct. That's not the same as prepping for something. When he was talking to Lex, mind you, he was captured. He was done. He was like, hey, Lex, I don't have no way out of this unless you help me. And never forget, the Joker told Lex ahead of time that the Batman Who Laughs would make him a particular kind of offer because it's what he would do if he was caught. So don't make a deal with him. And what did Lex do? Lex heard the honest truth come out of Batman Who Laughs. Batman Who Laughs was like, look, bro, I mean, I can't get out of this, but I can offer you something if you just help me get out of this.
A power that you can have to finally
that's how we got Apex Lex, and then he got dog balked anyway.
So when y'all talk about this prep version of Bruce, tell me, why is it that if you watch an animated series, right? Because most of y'all are casual. When you watch these animated series, what you see Bruce do, detective work, and it takes an L, tries to prepare for it. This is where the prep comes in. After he takes his L, goes back, meets that person, and he takes another L. Then, in the commotion of trying to figure out, hey, is this going to be the mission where I die? Because y'all overlook that every time. Is this going to be the mission where I die? I'm going to go all out. Other circumstances usually lead to the situation being handled. Either somebody else will intervene, something will reveal itself, that person will do something self-destructive. It's never Bruce's prep time. Never. I'll do you one even better. There's a scenario. Again, going to Cam Playbook. There's a scenario where Bruce tries to train him and the Bat family members for hostage situations. And there's the simulation he allowed Damian to put him through. And it's about if Professor Pig caught him. Yo, he couldn't get out of that in his own simulation that, that he was doing this prep work for. He ends up failing. And it was so embarrassing. Damian was like, yeah, I'm not doing this with you no more. I'm done. Damian was like, wake up, snap out of it. Just call me later when you want to become a dad.
Struggle game.
Prep time is a myth that the community created. It has nothing to do with the source material. You guys probably just saw the latest Batman movie. No, the reason you think that's decent is because, and I admit I enjoyed it, but it wasn't the best Batman movie to me. But regardless, like in the film, you see him do the detective work. You see him go over things. And he still doesn't understand them fully until the last minute. And then when he knew what was going to happen, what happened? He went in, ready for battle, and absolutely failed. If it wasn't for Catwoman, we wouldn't even be looking forward to another film.
Let me ask this question right here. Now, the Batman movies Joey's talking about is completely different. It's completely different from what we're talking about. Because his is more the more grounded reality versus the Ben Affleck's Batman, where it's more grandiose stuff.
No. I agree. We had this conversation. About 2 weeks ago. We had this conversation.
Yeah, but
the only time you see Batman really hold it down, which is what you're about to explain, it's when he's older.
No. I'm not gonna go down that route. Because,
that's the Ben Affleck version.
No, I understand. But
okay.
After watching the Black Adam film, what the fuck prep time we giving this dude besides Call Superman and Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter?
I mean,
hey guys, I think we're actually getting side comments from other admins.
Probably. Hold on.
The Batman fights Catwoman all the time, and she fast enough to hit the Flash. Surely to reflect her.
Bro, that's your brother.
He brought up that super casual thing. I think he's being facetious.
No, he's being funny. He's being funny right now.
He's being funny as hell.
I know he's being funny. I'm talking to him right now. He's being a smart ass.
Don't feed into it.
Yeah, because God
that's
forbid
all the community is feeding into.
They were
Batman.
mind controlled.
It's, the only thing it is feeding into Batman stands and explaining to them how they're wrong. That's half the time you're in the community, because you want to be in a safe space where you can just be honest about stuff. And then you have
snowflakes.
and then you have niggas being like, well, you know, Catwoman knocked out the Flash family when they were mind control. Shut up, they're mind control.
Such a terrible thing to bring up, especially when the story tells you, hey, these guys weren't being manipulated at their best. What was it? Poison Ivy, right? It was Poison Ivy.
Yeah, Poison Ivy. Like,
Poison Ivy was like, Superman. I don't actually know how to work this stuff.
Don't know how to work none of them. But everybody wants to keep bringing up that feed, like Catwoman was doing something, and I'm like, really, nigga? You mean she was doing something?
A whole lot of nothing.
Hey, them high heels are lit.
You know what else was lit?
Look
when
at
Bruce
Negro Land
was
just like
literally in the Batcave.
You know what came to mind? I start thinking about when her and Lois changed clothes with each other. It's terrible.
Nah, because people love to bring up that thing with that. But what happened when Bruce was alone with Flash in the Batcave in a random situation?
You mean Reverse Flash?
Protocols in the Batcave got activated.
You mean Reverse
Flash? Literally pulls up on this man and it's like, I could punch you 100 times over and kill you.
See, I thought you were talking about when Reverse Flash showed up and was like, I'm going to kill you, boy.
No, right after that. No, I will talk about that, but that's Reverse Flash. He a whole different nigga altogether compared to
yo. When Thor, I look, I got to defend my man Bruce right here, man. I got to defend my man Bruce right here because when he stabbed Thorne in the foot, that was just too good. It was too good.
It was good, but he ended up almost dying afterwards. So
it was still good. It was still good. Bruce was like, "Oh yeah, man, you fast? Yeah, but you stupid." Die. He stabbed him in the foot.
That's all sitting there being like, "Nigga, I'm in your house, fucking you up, and I'm stupid, motherfucker." But I mean, go on. I feel like that's what Vaughn is thinking.
I was saying, is there any closing arguments for why this would be?
I mean, there's so much we didn't even touch on, but overall, man, everything we said we can back up with the scans. I mean, that's why most of the time we jumped into the story. So the situation is, for me here. I'll do this whole thing as fast as I can. When you say Bruce versus Black Panther, you immediately put Bruce in a situation, in a category he has yet to fulfill as a basic character. In order to be on Black Panther's level, combatively or in any other nature, you have to get a version of Batman that's an upgraded version. Because at the basic level, this is what y'all fail to realize. If we're just talking about DC, you guys like to scale who you think is a bigger threat to Batman. Okay. You would casually say, or even expertly say, which would be on point. Okay. Batman's biggest threats are the Joker. You've already lost the argument comparing him to Black Panther. When you say, oh, Batman versus Bane, and you take time out and you're like, oh, well, you know, there was that one time this and this and this, and it's like you've already failed. Bane is nowhere near the strength of T'Challa. Nowhere near. Yeah, your mind's blown. You're freaking casual. Yeah, Bane is not as strong as T'Challa. Nowhere as skilled as T'Challa either in combat. Okay, then. So you go a little further and you're like, what about Deathstroke? Okay, then. Deathstroke don't even have the technology and gear that T'Challa has. And now, mind you, he's supposed to be a super soldier. Not even at the same level as Captain America, which is where your argument starts to fall apart. This is these characters. I'm going to say this and I'm going to walk away. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this.
Some other bullshit.
Do this and it'll be the greatest impact I ever have on your life. When you talk about Marvel versus DC, do the measuring stick. What is the measuring stick? The street tiers, sky tiers. Okay, then. Who is the number one street tier character in DC? Batman. Who is the number one street tier character in Marvel? Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Number one street tier character is Spider-Man. You don't believe me? Punisher is probably who some of you thought about. The Punisher was introduced.
I don't want to hear no slander.
Spider-Man.
I don't want to hear no slander of Frank Castle.
Big facts. Punisher was introduced as Spider-Man. And what happened in the
You're not gonna get no slander for Frank Castle unless Bucky's here. So that's all I'm saying.
And he just proved it. He just proved it. And when you go up from Punisher, you get Bucky. Okay, but anyway, what happened when Punisher showed up in that Spider-Man comic? He defeated Spider-Man. Spider-Man only survived that encounter because the Punisher allowed him to. He didn't defeat the Punisher. So while you're thinking, oh, well, the Punisher is just a man and Spider-Man has these enhancements, he mopped the floor with Spider-Man.
Let's not talk about Spider-Man.
So when you talk about this
and Civil War, when he had the suit and he was like, yo, he's going to beat my ass. And I know he's going to beat my ass.
Which is why Spider-Man is not above Captain America. Because in the Civil War, we saw while Spider-Man was in an Iron Man made suit.
That helped his powers out.
We saw it was Cap who was still his better.
Flight repulsors and all types of shit.
So those are the two street tiers. You have the bottom of the measuring stick. You have the far left of the measuring stick. You have the 0 point of the measuring stick. Batman, DC, Spider-Man, Marvel. Okay, then. Who's the sky? For DC, Superman. For Marvel, Thor. Superman, the beginning archetype of his kind, the man who fucking made the baseline. Marvel, Thor, the character who was literally made because Stan Lee was like, well, we have a Superman, we have a Hulk. Who's more powerful than that? Oh, instead of making godlike characters, I will make a god.
God.
Who, at the base level, this character was meant to be more powerful than Superman and Hulk. So at a base level, you have an understanding that this is a scale that is well beyond what you perceive. So, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Thor. These aren't close. Every measurement you do in between will never be close. I don't have nothing else to say on the subject because it's that plain and simple.
Charles, you go next. You go next.
Look, it comes down to this. At the end of the day, you got to measure out what the characters stand for and who they are. And fundamentally, Bruce is still that kid in the alleyway that watched his parents die and is still trying to find a way to defend his city, but keeps running out of ideas and keeps having to reinvent. T'Challa, he's not that. He was raised to literally be royalty and literally was the youngest Black Panther to date because of all the training and the extra effort that he put into at an early age. Bruce didn't start his whole real Batman training till like way later in life. And it's just, they scale out totally differently in mentality, mindset, gear, everything. Bruce is in charge of $1 billion company. T'Challa is in charge of a country in an intergalactic empire.
Trillions.
Exactly. Trillionaire.
I mean, isn't beyond. Like quadrillion?
If we could go up to a higher number, maybe quadrillion.
Yeah, because it's intergalactic. It's like, I don't even know what numbers we're using at this point.
Like, literally, just, you got to think about it at this. Like, while Bruce could sell a company, T'Challa could sell a planet.
Ooh, they ain't ready for that.
Like, those are totally different scales. That's where we're at. The fact that you keep on trying to make these comparisons that don't work because the resources don't add up, the physical stats don't add up, the gear doesn't add up, then what is there? There's nothing. There's no argument to be had.
And I guess that'll be the end of this. The argument to be had right now are people who read the same stuff that we have read and will have a totally different opinion, even though there's no logic to why that opinion is there. Because they are the same group of people that I am, where I grew up watching all the Batman movies growing up as a child in the 90s, watching the Batman animated series, playing the video games on PlayStation, Sega, Super Nintendo. I grew up on all that stuff. The difference is that I grew up, you didn't. I can read, you can't. Maybe that's the difference. Reading comprehension is so key right now, and yet no one can do it. And here we are talking about blatant stuff that we all can pull out the same comic book, go through the scans, and say that, nah, that rich white dude who has PTSD because his mom and dad got in front of him, and his butler looks out for him, he don't kill nobody because these people could still be doing the same stuff that happens to all these other children in Gotham's families. But I'm better than thou. All that BS. I can just look at that and like, yo, this is ridiculous. I can look at Black Panther training throughout childhood versus Bruce being like, oh, I guess this is what I need to do now. Oh, I'm an adult. And going through training and still not being the best of the best that he is. I can see Bruce being an Elon Musk, being like, hey, guys over there, smart dudes, make this shit for me. Hey, do it for me. While the child is over here like, you're fucking up the circuitry. What the fuck's wrong with you? There are levels to this shit. We didn't even get into the fact that he has a whole goddamn God backing him. We didn't even get into that. Bastards over here being like, you're the Black Panther. I gave you that title. We didn't even get into that. Who gave Bruce the title of that? His paycheck. And I'll end there.
Well, this will be the first episode why you were wrong about, but we basically got it down pat for that. But future episodes will be similar to this, but we have different topics. So we may have everybody pick a Red Ranger, who will be the last Red Ranger standing. We're talking about best comic book writers, who would be the best comic book writers. The top 10 X-Men. It can go a lot of ways.
Logan, motherfucker, Logan.
He's bottom 5.
Fuck you.
Bias aside.
Hey. I don't want that, Cam.
Hey, bias aside, he's bottom 5. But we gotta respect that cycle.
What is it like? Number 666?
Oh, fuck you, Negro Lantern.
Damn.
Gotta love the pro Scott. But in all seriousness, Logan will be top 5. I'm not gonna.
I'm curious. Can Wolverine heal from emotional damage?
He has his brain. You know what? When we talk about Wolverine, I'll break it down. When y'all niggas ready to talk about Wolverine, I'll break it down. I'm
gonna need the scan. I'm gonna need the scan. I'm gonna need the scan where Logan was like, they made me 466.
I got the scans where he's gonna be like, yo, that bitch ain't shit. I gotta get over it. Yeah, maybe not. I got them scans.
But any all the topics can go. Anything can go. We may have the top 10 Green Lanterns. That may be a thing. So just like,
is there a top 10 Green Lanterns?
There's no top 10.
Maybe a 7.
No top 10.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is there a top 10 Green Lanterns?
I'm trying to give out content here. Y'all fuck up the.
No,
we're not.
This isn't the Good Liars.
No.
You gotta sell it. I'm just trying to sell it right now. Okay?
We just gotta be honest, bro. It's one of those things.
He's telling this nigga Cam is over here like, yo, all you casuals, we'll have prep time stuff next time.
People, for everyone who thought that we were just hating on DC, no, we can hate on everyone equally. We just took a simple thing where it's like you have a nigga who gets stabbed by a nigga who dressed up as a clown versus a king.
Which we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, like there's levels to this. Y'all gonna think that we're haters? No, we can hate on everything.
Because we could have spent a lot of time just talking about how Batman armor is useless. versus T'Challa. We could have just been like, yeah, let's add up every time T'Challa got stabbed by an everyday blade versus where Batman has been stabbed by an everyday weapon.
There is no hate. There's no hate. There's no hate. And
look, you said it wasn't 10. He said you named 10 John Stewart number 1. John Stewart.
It's not 10. You can name 10 lanterns. You're not naming 10 top lanterns. It's not two different things. But
there's no top 10 lanterns.
Top 10 Green Lanterns. You can talk. No. You can name top 10 lanterns. 4 out of the 4 that you already thinking of, and you already named one. There's 3 more, and there's definitely.
Once you get past Jessica, you're no, not Jessica. What's the Muslim homie name? Shabazz. Yeah. Once you get past him. Once you get past him, it's over.
Basically, Facebook user, all they're saying is,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Because somebody would be like, man, they talking about the facts. And they're not. No. That's not what I'm saying. Based on the facts,
you don't care.
Based on the facts,
there's not. Really
you don't have
10 top Green Lanterns.
We don't even have to jump into that right now. He was trying to say goodbye.
Fuck Kilowog. Fuck all them niggas. I guess.
No, that nigga wanted to use like 3 different John Stewarts. He wanted to use the purple power and then a regular military nigga. He wanted to use 3 of them.
No, you know, Saint was gonna come up.
Oh no, they were going to try to bring Saint Walker.
That's what I was talking about. I'm talking about
you mean the nigga that was made because the Green Lanterns exist?
Yeah, but he'll just be naming Green people again. Once you get past the Muslim homie, like it's just no, you don't have nobody else. All the iconic Green Lanterns are you can count on 2 hands.
And they're gonna be like Parallax Hell Jordan.
With the person with lantern in his name, just introduce yourself one more time. Where they can find you at, you know. you put yourself at 10 if that's the case.
Yo, I next time I won't even be on camera. I'll just use that picture of the Michael Jackson lantern. Yo, I don't care what nobody said. That gold lantern is just Michael Jackson. 100%. He's just Michael Jackson.
Yo, beat it, nigga.
He's telling you it's the top 10. That might have to be the next show.
No, there's not top 10. You went and got that casual answer somewhere. But Nerds of Combat page, man. All of us. Nerds of Combat page, man. Nerds of Combat, Nerds of Combat, Nerds of Combat, Nerds of Combat. You understand me? We're available 24 hours a day, man. There's an admin that's always available.
Oh, it's Jeremy.
He has 10.
No.
Jeremy.
He don't.
When this is over,
let me guess. I guess out of these 10, it's gonna be literally the top 5 is gonna be between Hal, John, Guy, Kyle, and maybe Simon.
No, it'll be Jessica.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe Simon.
Yeah, and once you get past him, there's no. It's over. It's over. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna bring up?
No respect for Ion?
No. He's gonna bring up. The what is his name?
Right here. Y'all forgot Alan Scott.
Sinestro.
Well, Alan don't count. Alan don't count.
Get out of here.
Alan is not a Green Lantern. Alan is not a Green Lantern.
Alan's been doing his
Alan's not even a real Green Lantern.
He brought up Sinestro. Not even the Green Lantern.
Stop it, bro. Stop it.
He's already mentioned 2 people who aren't even lanterns.
He made his bones with the yellow lantern core, bro. Come on, man. Come on.
Again, he can name as many people as he wants to. There's not 10 top Green Lanterns.
Who's the dead nigga who took over? Who Hal Jordan took over for?
Abin Sur.
You should have put him on the list before.
Yeah, because even Sinestro said he was better.
And he did.
I was just going to say his greatest accomplishment was dying. It was bringing the core. How?
What we turn on Mojo now or Mogo?
Fuck
Mogo.
Oh my God! Who's now dead?
Xenomorph. That has
who's now dead?
I don't want to hear about it. That has Xenomorphs on it. I'm in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh my God, it's such a casual response. Sinestro was a Green Lantern. Okay, but you've already undermined your whole argument.
Oh yeah,
was a Green Lantern. Was a Green Lantern, and he wasn't the top 10 of the Green Lanterns.
Hold on, homie. I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are, but let's just like take this into account. We were talking about Green Lanterns. You talked about a guy who was super popular because he was a Green Lantern and is known for being a Yellow Lantern. What are we talking about? That he's popular because of him being around the longest and he switched over, or because he's still a Green Lantern?
Mogo dead.
Oh,
and
Mogo
not a top 10.
Yeah.
So you can name
a
bunch of lanterns, not a top 10.
Introduced and the only thing that's brought her to prominence was they literally had to get rid of the main central power battery to even bring her in.
Eat, sleep, and breathe.
You do not eat, sleep, and breathe, DC, because you just said all that casual stuff.
Really don't.
Nigga, you choking.
You really just said all that just to say nothing.
If you eat and breathe, DC, you choking, brother. And I'm a Marvel nigga.
Really are.
No, Impact said it multiple times. You were going to bring up Hal, Cal,
and you didn't bring up Badge.
No, yeah, it's. I mean, no. You know when they're real casual, they always say Kilowog. Always.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on.
I don't care how much you like that one event. I don't care. I don't care how much you like that one event.
Oh,
we're
clowns.
Oh, we're clowns because you have the makeup on. Okay, all right.
Hold on. Why do you say Soto Miyato?
So we've heard your opinion. It's in your genetic code.
You wanted to mention top 10.
Nigga, I said I like Kilowog, and he
hijacked the exit. Yeah, you got to give him credit.
Mm-hmm.
He put on the show. We fell for the circus.
Nigga, come in Nerds of Combat and get learned.
Show up to support.
Come in Nerds of Combat and learn, nigga. Come over here. We're gonna learn you.
I am willing to give you issues and numbers, my brother.
We'll be on next week.
Yo,
who's the topic next week?
I don't think it'll be anything. We'll endorse it in the chat.
It'll be the top 10 names. That's what it'll be.
Should we do the top 10 Green Lanterns who don't mean shit to niggas? Because
we'll just find out every character who's ever been named in the Green Lantern event, especially from like Brightest Day, and we'll just all of those guys who died won't even matter. We'll just put all their names in a hat and we'll just draw them out and say top 10.
Nigga, this is so strong. Look at that Green Lantern ring he got. It's because he got green emeralds in his ears. Nigga, this is so
strong. No. He's going to say Batman because Batman has a Green Lantern ring.
I thought he had the yellow lantern ring and it was taken away.
No, Batman has a Green Lantern ring. Batman has a Green Lantern ring. Oh, but
you know
again,
who did a better job?
That's what happens
the evil
when you don't know what you're talking about. Oh my god, that's easily number 2. What are you talking about? Number 2 easy. What are you talking about, bro? It's Jessica Cruz, then him. What are you talking about?
When you look at the Los Angeles, when you look at the Los Angeles,
hold on. Don't just blow by. Repeat that for the audience. Let's pause for a second here. Let's pause. I need you to repeat that slowly so the American people can hear what you just said. What did you just say?
I'm going to entertain my inner Stephen A. Smith when niggas say wild shit. I'm gonna be like, what?
Exactly. Repeat that.
I like that. I like that we even here you get the hostility before you get the facts. You know what I mean? We got clown before we got the fact.
Exactly, and he couldn't even give them.
This is the Blur Cartel Circus. We are the clowns. Right here.